Hi guys, this is Shelly and I'm making this video to show my customers and other people that are trying to apply their heat transfer vinyl iron-ons, show them how to do it. Yeah. So when I'm saying your heat transfer vinyl iron-ons, I'm talking about the ones that you either ordered from my shop, ShellyRioBoutique.com, maybe you ordered it off of Etsy or some other site, or maybe you make your own iron-ons because you have the proper equipment to do that, but you don't know how to apply them yet because maybe you just got your machine. Now these are the iron-ons I'm talking about. This is the smooth vinyl iron-on that you would receive. Is something you'd receive in the mail. This is the Glitter Flex one. I'm talking about like this. I made this for myself. I, do some of the Disney races, and so I ran a half marathon like a crazy person, and yeah, so I wanted to make my own shirt. So now these directions are not for the iron-ons that you would print from your computer, the ones that you get the digital files from on Etsy, which are like super cheap, like $2-3, and then you have to go buy the printer paper at Joann's or Michael's or wherever you would buy that. And no, that's not that type of iron-on. These are not directions for iron-on patches that you would buy that are like embroidered. This is strictly for these custom iron-ons that you would order and receive online. Now, the first thing is you shouldn't use your regular ironing board, and I say that because you need a very sturdy, hard surface like wood, because when you have an ironing board, you have this pad covering thing on it, and there's a thick piece of something in here, which is not making this hard and sturdy enough. So you need to ditch this and just do away with it. So now if you have a wooden table, a wooden floor, a wooden cutting board, that would be the perfect thing to iron your shirt and iron on with. Now, if you're going to use your wooden floor or your wooden table, I do recommend putting like a thin piece of fabric or cloth over the table or floor so you don't ruin it, because I don't want to be held responsible if God forbid something happens. And when I say a thin cloth or something, I mean like a sheet, like a top sheet, a pillowcase, maybe another shirt you might have, just like to cover the wood, and then put your shirt you're ironing so you can put your iron on the shirt. Now, if you ordered your iron on from me, more than likely you got a piece of paper in there with your packaging. And so this is parchment paper. So if you didn't get your iron on from me, you can get this parchment paper at any Target, Walmart, grocery store, in the baking section. It's used to bake cookies, but it's great for protecting your iron. Now, if you didn't, and also if you don't have this piece of paper, you can use like a very thin cloth, again, a sheet, pillowcase, something not too thick though, because when you put your iron on whatever piece of cloth you're using, if it's too thick, the heat is not going to go through the fabric. Like a towel, definitely don't use, which will make it harder for the iron-on to attach to the shirt. And then even if it is attaching, you might be like, okay, cool, this still works, but then you might wash it, or you might be wearing the shirt and then it starts peeling and you're like, oh my gosh, this product sucks. No, it's because you need a thinner piece of cloth or you need this parchment paper to apply. Now, if you're doing a 1-layer iron-on, this is a 2-layer iron-on because I have this and I'm gonna attach this onto there. But pretend this was the only iron-on you were using, you weren't applying anything else. With my iron-ons, I'm not saying with another store you might have bought it at because I don't know, but I do know for my iron-ons, when you peel this off and place this on your shirt, you can directly put your iron onto this plastic and it's not gonna mess up your iron. It's gonna be fine, it'll apply fine, and you'll be good. But if you are layering, this part you can iron on the plastic. So when you place this on top of here, after you peel this clear part off, and I'll show you all this in the video, you're probably thinking, oh, well, the plastic is still on the hat, I can just iron this. No, you can't, because now this isn't covered anymore in the plastic, and so if your iron touches any of this, it's totally gonna melt, and then your iron's gonna be jacked up, and then you're gonna be emailing me like, what the heck? So again, you can iron, if it's just a 1-layer iron-on, you can iron it directly like this with the plastic. If it's a 2-layer iron-on, you can still do the first part like this, but the second part, after you put this on, you're gonna need this parchment paper to cover so it doesn't melt or mess up your iron, okay? Hope I made sense. Now, all you need is your iron. This is my iron, my home iron that we iron our home stuff with. I set my iron to cotton. Some other stores or videos you see may say not to set it to cotton. for me, I'm telling you, set it to cotton. And again, everyone's iron is different. So, you know, you can obviously test your iron on the cotton settings. If you feel like it's not hot enough, go to the next hottest setting, which might be wool. On mine, I think it's linen. So, you know, again, everyone's iron is different. I'm going to be applying the iron-on to this dry wicking tank top just to show you guys how to apply this. I'm actually making this for a friend. I usually would use my heat press, but I thought, hey, why not make my iron-on video for my customers that don't have a heat press? So what I normally do, just to make sure it's centered, because I know not everyone has that perfect eye where you can look and it's like, oh, this is centered. So what I do is I let this fold down like this, and then I will fold this shirt in half. And sometimes if you just do that and then open it up again, there'll be a slight crease for your eyes to see. Obviously you're not going to see it on my camera. Oh, and also another really quick important thing. Now, using your home iron, you cannot have the steam setting on at all, and you cannot have water inside your iron. So if you have water in your iron, make sure you empty it out before you turn it on and get ready to iron your iron on. Okay guys, I hope you can see what I'm doing. I was trying forever to like position my camera correctly, and yeah, I'm not a good camera person, sorry. I don't know how to hold a camera. So anyway, so now my shirt's on this wooden board. Again, you can use a cutting board, your wood floor, your wood table. If you absolutely must use your ironing board because you don't have any wood anything around, then I suggest you take off the covering of your iron and directly have the shirt on the metal part of the iron, because then that's the sturdy surface. So anyway, so you peel off your iron-on and position it where you believe is the center. And so again, you guys saw how I folded the shirt to get an idea of what the center is. So I'm just gonna make sure, yeah, it's perfect. Okay, so once you apply your iron on, like you stick it on, again, you can either, on my iron-ons directly, my iron's already hot. Yes, so what you would do is you would take your iron, and now because this is a big iron-on, I'm obviously gonna have to do this in sections. Also, when you place your iron-on onto the shirt, the sticker part, make sure there's no hair or lint that you can see. It's okay if it's on the shirt, but make sure it's not like on the shirt and the iron-on at the same time, because when you iron it on, the hair or whatever is gonna get stuck in between there and the iron on, and you're not gonna be able to pull it out, just so you know. So because this is a bigger iron on, you're gonna have to do this in sections. So I recommend you pick your section, place your iron on that section. So I'll do the LV part first, and then you're gonna press as hard as you can and hold for 10 seconds. Lift. And so when you iron, you're gonna see there's the discoloration of, okay, this looks different than this side because the iron was just on there. So then you go to the next section. This one I'm probably going to have to do in 3 sections because it is a bigger iron-on. So I'm gonna, because you want to make sure you're getting every inch of this iron-on. So I'm gonna do this one, and again, 10 seconds, press down with your weight, and then just keep doing it for the whole iron-on. And then lift. And so when you look, you can kind of see if you missed any spots. It looks like I didn't miss any spots. So I'm gonna peel this. I'm gonna start peeling. And so when you start peeling, if you notice that the iron-on is peeling up with the sticker part, then lay it back down and do it again. But this one's not peeling yet, so it seems, so that's good. So I'm peeling this off, and I'm holding the shirt down as I'm peeling. You don't want to peel it too fast, because if there is a part that's not stuck on the shirt and you peel it too fast, it's just gonna rip your iron-on, and then you're gonna be like, oh my god, what do I do? So just peel it off carefully. See, and it's stuck just fine, and you can get rid of that plastic part. And now, if this was a 1-layer iron-on, like I wasn't adding anything else, I would recommend to put your parchment paper or whatever paper. It doesn't matter what side, because it's parchment is parchment, and or your thin cloth if you didn't get parchment paper, and stick this on top of your iron and then just I would just go over each section again for another 10 seconds just to make sure that it's on there really, really good. And then just give it a nice smooth. Okay, so this looks good. So the second part, now, if this was a 1-layer iron-on, you'd be done. Everything would be great. It's on, it's perfect. You can wash it how you normally wash your clothes. And you know, I do recommend turning it inside out. Oh, you can wash how you normally wash your clothes, but definitely no fabric softener, because that will make your iron-on lift underneath, and eventually it might come off if you keep washing it with fabric softener. Now, after you wash this shirt so many times, your iron-on might start to peel, because that's just life and that's just normal after you keep washing and washing and washing. So the great part about this is if you notice that happening after you washed it like 25 times, all you have to do is get a piece of parchment paper, put it over your iron-on, and just apply your iron the same way you did to apply the iron-on, and it will reattach itself right back again. So now this is the second part of the layer. So we want to do Goofy's hat. So you just place it. It looks good. I take my parchment paper again. I stick it on top. Now all I have to do is iron where the sparkle part is, because the rest of this iron-on's already on. So this should only take me 1 iron-on time to do. Press and hold down, pushing my weight, 10 seconds. Lift. I'm going to peel this off, make sure it's sticking. Okay, look, so as you see, it's starting to peel a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. The design's not coming off. So I'm just going to do that again, which is okay, because the glitter and the smooth are a little bit different, so sometimes you might need to hold it a little bit longer. So I'm going to do it again for another 10 seconds. Lift. And I'm going to start to peel it again, see what happens. I like to peel from a different corner than the one I was peeling from, where it was lifting, because sometimes, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's just how I do it, and it works out better that way. So, okay, this side's not lifting, so that's good. So I'm going to continue peeling it. Again, make sure you do it slow, so you don't rip anything, or if something isn't attaching, it doesn't come up. Okay, so I'll get rid of that. Now the side that was lifting before, I'm going to see if it's lifting. It looks like it's not lifting. So I'm going to put my parchment paper over it again, because this is going to be my last iron, and hold it for 10 seconds, putting your weight on it again. And we're done. It's hot. I don't recommend just sticking your fingers on top of there like I just did. So yeah. You can just feel around the glitter part, because the glitter is, you know, obviously a different texture, so you can feel it, make sure it's not peeling. If you're really like, I want to make sure it's never going to come off, you know, you can start looking at the edges. If you feel like it's on, but I might need to, I'm paranoid, you're welcome to do it one more time just to make you feel better. Just, you don't want to overheat it, but I get, you know, if you're paranoid that it's going to come off, but it's not going to come off, and it's done. So that's it, guys. I hope my video helped you guys and you were able to apply your iron-on. It came out really good. So that's it. If you guys have any questions, make sure you leave a comment below, or you can email me directly if you're one of my customers, if you're still having any issues, which you shouldn't have any. And yeah, you can just wash this like you normally would the rest of your clothes. Just make sure you do not use fabric softener. That's the only thing you have to be careful for. You know, of course I tell my customers I recommend, you know, washing cold water, hang dry, but honestly, I just say that just, you know, your product will always last longer, but I've been making these for years. I wash my clothes 1,000 times. I put them in the washing machine and the dryer. I wash my stuff in cold water, hot water, whatever, and I honestly have never had a problem with my iron-ons coming off at all. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys liked my video, and I hope it helps. Bye.